You're listening to Crystal and Emily on Love Your Shelf, the best librarian podcast in the extensive and highly competitive field of librarian podcasts. Hello.
Hey!
Here we are, back again.
Mm-hmm.
We are here with episode 5.8
Nice.
of Love Your Shelf.
I was like, does she have this written down somewhere? Because I have no concept of what episode we're on.
Yes.
Like, I love that this is season 5. We've really made it.
We have.
5 long
Who knows
seasons.
how long it's going to go.
Yeah. We're shooting for 25 seasons.
Yes. Which, the way we're counting seasons, could happen within a year or so.
We do want to be level with The Simpsons.
Right. we did start this in 2020 sometime.
During the pandemic,
Yeah.
The library was closed. And at one point, you and I, like, we wouldn't even sit next to each other because these were the days when, like, nobody could be around each other.
And it was actually hard. It's still hard to find a room in this building where you don't have an echo, you don't have lots of ambient noise, you don't have screaming children or Zumba or whatever happening. So, but then it was really hard because we had to find 2 spots where it wasn't all those things.
So I'd be like hiding in like a corner under a desk. Not really.
Yeah,
we had to get creative.
Yeah, despite what it sounds like, which I'm sure you can tell.
Yeah.
We don't have a soundproof room or anything like that. We're just...
Yeah, the library is not a quiet place.
Yeah, yeah. But we're making it.
Yeah.
You know, well, we're not divas or anything, thankfully.
Speak for yourself. I am full diva.
Hence the hiding under the desk. Yeah.
Speaking of libraries being loud, this is going to be my first library or a book recommendation. It's a picture book.
Oh, yes.
In our meeting the other day, our staff meeting that we have every week, Summer, who does the cataloging, showed us this new picture book called The Loud Librarian. And I was like, oh, is this my biography? But I ended up reading it at story time, and it's so cute. It's about a little girl who's been practicing all summer to be the student librarian at her school. And the only problem is, like, she's great at pushing the cart, and she's great at the alphabet and, you know, all the librarian things you need to know. But she talks really loudly. And anyway, it's really sweet. She ends up finding sort of her place as a librarian with a loud voice, because there are places for us.
There are, and we have several in this library.
Yeah. I mean, Jay just left. He was one. I feel like he could have.
He can project.
Yeah.
But he could be quieter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. That's true. He's capable.
Yeah. There's some that are not.
No.
We won't name any names.
I do want to say one of my favorite things was the dedication in the book says, to my mom and dad, from the bottom of my heart to the top of my lungs, thank you. And I just love that so much.
It is pretty cute.
Yeah.
And it's funny that got brought up like the same day that I discovered a game, because, you know, we have games in our library of things called Loud Librarians.
Good plug, by the way.
Yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And so as soon as I saw that the company that's making it was giving away hundreds of copies. So I jumped in there and tried to get one. Not fast enough.
Dang.
But we're going to get it anyway.
Cool.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
It looks like a good one.
Nice.
Because everybody wants to pretend to be a librarian for a
game, right? No one played librarian as a child, you mean?
I did. I did, 100%.
I know you did. I love that.
Oh, man. I spent, I don't know how many countless hours being a librarian as a kid.
It's okay. I was out playing, like, Escape the Nazis.
I did that, too.
Yeah.
There was
learning about World War II obviously left an impression on me.
And maybe we can turn to you in these current times.
Yeah, I've got some skills.
That's not that funny, but...
You gotta laugh.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to jump into... I have quite a list of books today, and some are most of them I've actually read in the last week or so, but some others I just remembered about.
Nice.
And thought, hey, I'll share these because I don't think I've talked about them before.
Please do.
So the first is several books by Oliver Sacks. So he wrote Awakenings, and then the great movie in 1990 was made with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams.
Okay.
And it's about this disease. It's kind of encephalitis. There was an outbreak. The book is about an outbreak in 1920, and then there were still some patients that had this in the 70s and 80s.
Oh.
And so Sachs was writing about, he's a doctor who was working with them. And so basically they're like, can't move or speak or anything else. And they didn't really know like what was going on with them. They gave them this drug called L-Dopa, and it unlocked them, or helped to unlock them. And so the movie is a real tearjerker.
Yeah.
It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, highly, highly recommend that movie. I mean, it's a tearjerker, but it is not just like a miserable, horrible
Is it
thing.
like
It's
a beautiful tearjerker kind of thing? Satisfying?
I'm not going to say anymore.
Okay.
But yes.
Okay.
Just watch
That can be, a not so simple question. So
Right.
Yeah.
No giving away how it's going to end. But yeah, very good. He also he has written many other books. He is no longer with us. But he wrote a book called Hallucinations, which is just, he actually, I think, got interested in it partially because of his own like migraine experiences. And he's very easy to read. It's not highly technical. It's written for a broad audience. It's not just for doctors. But the book covers things like seeing little figures, like little people, or people that are losing their eyesight and they have this like whole other world of hallucinations, where people are visited from the dearly departed. There's all different kinds of things.
Yeah, cool.
And all of his books it's like kind of like cases, like, here's
specific,
this case. And,
people.
He's a great writer, at least in the sense that he really cares about his subjects, and he is obviously he's an expert. He's extremely knowledgeable about it. But and they're not just cases; they're people and that kind of thing. Also, he wrote "The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat" and other clinical tales.
I hate it when that happens.
And so it's about...
I hate when Nick mistakes me for a hat.
He
tries to wear me on his head.
Yeah, exactly. Knock it off.
Quit it.
Yeah. So it's like different people who lost their memories, which, that's always a fascinating thing.
Yeah.
How do you cope with that kind of thing? People who their limbs become alien to them.
Oh, that's
Can
so
you
weird.
Imagine? People who suddenly have these just unbelievable talents and gifts that they are inexplicable.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So all different kinds of neurological disorders. So if you are into that kind of thing, even if you're not, I think there's really something there for everybody in each of those books. Fascinating guy.
Very cool.
And I also read a new collection by Margaret Atwood of The Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah.
And it's called Old Babes in the Wood. And it's short stories. Margaret Atwood.
Yep.
You really, you know. The only book of hers that I thought was kind of hit or miss was her follow-up to The Handmaid's Tale, The Testament.
Yeah.
Because it kind of picks up where the TV series left off, which I just thought was a very strange way of going about it.
Was she involved in the show?
She
the
must
writing
be
of
in
it?
some way.
Because that's the only way I would think that she would.
Now, I don't think about it. She's not writing it. I mean, I think she
just
is consulted on
it.
Yeah.
That's really weird then.
Because the show went beyond pretty quickly
right.
what the book
right.
Covers. and then it goes down a particular path, and then her book that follows up to it, the Testaments, it's definitely like
I wonder what
informed by that.
I didn't realize that. I wonder why that was the decision. I don't know. Like, was a book needed? A second part?
It goes in it follows a different character than what the show does. So I think I can see, and there are people that really liked it. And I wouldn't say it was bad. I just thought it was strange to do that. You don't really see that that much.
Totally.
Who knows?
Yeah. What do we know?
Yeah. She's the, expert. But the collection is funny. Much more funny than lots of her other books.
Cool.
So, and also
funnier than Handmaid's Tale. You mean?
It's a low bar, yeah. Yeah, I can't think of a single funny thing.
Yeah, cracks me up every time.
Yeah. But this is very different from that, and it still has heartwarming things.
Yeah.
Things that it's got all the emotions.
Yeah.
Love
it.
Yeah.
Love a roller coaster.
Exactly. And I also, I like writerly writers. So I read a book. I started it a while back, revisited it again because I read one of her novels recently. So I read Words Are My Matter, which is by Ursula K. Leguin. And it's writings about life and books, 2000 to 2016. And she was an amazing science fiction writer. Lots of things have been adapted from her work. And the book that I read recently was The Lathe of Heaven, which is a classic. And basically the main character, George Orr, which is a great name, which you'll understand in a second. So when he dreams, he's not like this as a child, but as a man, he one day he realizes that his dreams change reality.
Oh.
So if he dreams something, it becomes true.
Oh, dang.
And so he goes to a psychiatrist who really quickly realizes, hey, this is pretty powerful.
Oh.
And he has this, machine that he wants to work with.
The psychiatrist?
George. Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And so it's like you could imagine the kind of things that happen.
My goodness, yes.
It's definitely sci-fi because at first it's kind of these mundane things that he's
sure.
able to change. But then with the assistance of this psychiatrist, it's kind of like the sky's the limit.
Oh, like there's some control.
What you can change.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it's in the, it kind of reminded me because it's older, of the Twilight Zone or something.
Yes, I could totally picture that being.
There's this kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's horror. It's horrifying,
but
it's
cheesy.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
Cheesy is the word we would use for it today. Yeah, but not in a negative sense.
Yeah. No. Totally.
Like in the Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good. But her book about writing, there's chapters like Learning to Write Science Fiction from Virginia Woolf.
Cool.
Or What Women Know. Or
it's a lot.
Hint. The Death of the Book. And she talks about, that kind of thing. And Teasing Myself Out of Thought. So it's for writers, but also just for anybody who's interested in literature, who's interested in her and her, how she went about writing, how she came up with the things that she did. So
I think that sounds really cool. Yeah.
Then I read The Gap of Time by Jeanette Winterson, and it is, what did they say? It's a retelling of The Winter's Tale by Shakespeare. I think they called it
cool.
Not a redux. Anyway, call it
there's a
replay
specific
or something. Yeah, but it's basically about a group of characters who are there's a mogul character who is the king. And then he has, he's extremely jealous of his friend. And, it's Shakespeare.
Yeah, I was going to say, it sounds like Shakespeare.
And so his wife is about to have a child, and he thinks that it's the result of an affair between his friend and his wife.
Oh, God.
And so
go to therapy, bro.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't need your paranoia ruining my life.
Yeah. And it really does. It really ruins everybody's life.
Classic Shakespeare, yeah.
But also in Shakespeare fashion, you can expect it to be kind of neatly wrapped up at the end.
Yes.
So that's what I'll say. But it's set in London after the 2008 financial crisis. And then to this, like, a fictitious American city, New Bohemia.
Oh.
And it's, so it deals with all of this, like, really contemporary stuff, but it's got that
Shakespeare
main story.
style. Yeah.
So
Love
it's
it.
good. And it's a quick read. It's a page turner.
Cool, yeah.
And I'm just kind of going back and forth between fiction and nonfiction, but...
That's okay.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Okay,
I'm not
good.
getting too confused. I didn't think that was
Like, wait
real
a
life. I'm like, wait, whose biography is that?
And I read She Wants It, Desire, Power, and Toppling the Patriarchy by Jill Soloway. Mm-hmm. And she is... a writer, movie director,
Renaissance
was the person
woman
behind Transparent on Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's really a memoir.
Cool.
And it's about, like, because the Transparent is about her own experience with her father.
Yes, that's right.
And so it really goes into detail about all that, but it also goes into the development and shooting of the show. In fact,
cool.
I was watching the show and had to stop reading the book because I was getting ahead of what was happening in the show.
Yep.
Because the show came out several years ago.
Yeah.
I just got into it recently.
Nice. I've always wondered about it.
It's good. It's sad and dramatic and happy and funny and all the things.
Another roller coaster.
Yes, it is. And speaking of roller coaster, but this one only goes downhill.
Oh, God. Those are the worst kind. Just a constant downhill.
Yes. So I read this 20 years ago, at least. Mm-hmm. But there's a new local used bookstore, Dead Tree Dreams, and they are starting a new book club.
Yeah.
Led by our friend Amy.
She's leading it?
Yes.
I didn't know that. Congratulations, Amy.
Yeah. And they chose for the first book. I'm not going to be able to go to it, but I went ahead and read it anyway because
you're a supportive friend.
Exactly.
Who likes to read.
Because I was expecting to go and then found out I couldn't go.
Aw, man.
I know. But we'll go to the next one.
Okay.
But the book in question is One Day in the Life of Ivan Denisovich.
Okay.
By Alexander Solzhenitsyn. And, oh, God.
Way to go with the pronunciations, by the way.
Thank you. I really tried on that. But it's about a labor camp.
Oh.
In Stalin's forced work camp. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It is bleak, and it's good. It's very short.
I'm sure it is,
because, nobody wants to read a long book about that.
Yeah, I don't need more details.
Yes, exactly. But, it's about this character who just centers on one person, Ivan Denisovich, who's going through, like, sun up to sundown and all of the sort of horrors of a work camp. Mm-hmm. And, yeah. So, really glad I read that again in my lifetime. Just kidding. It's a brilliant work of art.
Of course.
People should read it.
Yeah.
It's
brilliant works are often hard.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
Understandable.
Yes.
Did you watch, like, Looney Tunes afterward? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. My version of that.
Yeah.
Looney Tunes, I think, would make me even more depressed.
I haven't thought about Looney Tunes in so long. That was just like the cartoony cartoon name that I could find. Yeah.
Right. I should try that next time.
Turn on some Looney Tunes.
We'll see what happens. And then, let's see, I've got several more. Just really going through it. But this I read, and then some current news really was disturbing. But I read a book, an illustrated book by the Dalai Lama.
Oh.
Called Heart to Heart, A New Guide on Compassion, Climate Change, and Living a Meaningful Life.
Oh.
But he was in the news recently about very inappropriate behavior with a child.
Really?
Which was a stunner.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I missed it.
Yes.
Oh, man. Bro. I'm just...
Dalai Lama. You're like,
calling him bro. I mean...
Well, if you act up...
Yeah, if you act up, I don't have a lot of respect for you, so bro.
So, yeah. I don't know... No, nobody knows much about the story except that his people issued an apology about it, so...
Great.
Yeah. Yeah, look that up if you want more details. We won't go into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it when I read it prior to this.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you question, and this is in the current climate, but even going back into the any kind of in the 70s with like the feminist movement and all of the stuff. If someone does something, does that impact your appreciation of their art?
Oh, gosh. I struggle with that constantly.
Yeah. And everybody, I think, has to think about that for themselves.
Yeah,
and
We won't lead that discussion right now. No, but
it does bring that up.
Yeah.
I don't think you can mention it without saying, there's questions there.
Mm-hmm.
But...
Yep.
Moving on to something
that
perhaps
we can
even more depressing.
Oh God, what are you doing to me?
We'll go back the other direction.
I'm kidding.
In a minute. But so one of my former favorite authors was Paul Auster, and many of his more recent books I haven't really enjoyed.
That's right.
But he wrote a nonfiction book called Bloodbath Nation.
Oh.
And it has photographs in it by Spencer Ostrander, and it's about gun violence. And it's basically his just like questioning and thoughts on his opinion on gun violence, what should be done about it. And the Spencer Ostrander's photographs are of the spaces where these attacks have taken place. Just empty. Like, it's not like during the event, but just like years later, this is the place where that happened. And it's very stark, really dark.
Yeah.
But it's timely.
It is.
People need to be talking about it.
Yes.
And wherever you fall on it, I think everybody should be thinking about it.
Yes.
And considering all of the different points of view. And
yes, all different points of view. Yes.
So it's a very short book. It's more of like a long essay format, and I would recommend it. He's an extremely intelligent guy, and
not just some dude off the street. Yeah, he knows things. He's worth listening to or considering.
Yes. And then the last book I'll discuss is The Milky Way Smells of Rum and Raspberries by Jillian Scudder.
Great title.
And so she's an astrophysicist, but this is like a kind of funny, obviously from the title.
If it were serious.
No, literally, we know this. But so she takes these like sort of short chapters on different topics. It's written for the layperson, and it has like funny, quirky, cute little footnotes and stuff. Kind of tongue in cheek.
Love it.
But it is about real science and real things that people probably don't know.
That's great.
Like
it's my favorite way to read about science and things like that.
Exactly.
It is.
Yes.
It's the way it speaks to me. Yeah.
If you're not an astrophysicist yourself, this is the kind of thing that you want. Yeah. There's a lot of other people who do a good job of doing
absolutely
that too, but this was the first I read of hers, and this may be her first. No, I think she has at least written other articles about it. But so like some of the truths that she reveals are that the galaxy is flatter than a sheet of paper. In like the scheme of things.
Oh my God.
It doesn't blow your mind?
Yes.
That supermassive black holes can sing a B flat. That's the sound that it makes.
What?
That it rains iron on a brown dwarf.
What?
Yeah, exactly. Lots of stuff. That you could grow turnips on Mars if its soil weren't full of rocket fuel.
Oh.
And that the universe is beige.
Oh,
yeah.
Come on.
So, yeah. So lots of things like that. Of course, there's those statements then that are, extrapolated, explained how they come up with that.
No, that's so cool.
So it's also not a hefty tome. It's a fun short read.
Cool.
Yeah. And so then we'll shift into what we're watching.
Okay. What you watching, girl?
Some good, some bad, as usual.
I'm gonna jump in.
Yes.
Very quickly because I'm just doing a double stamp of approval on Severance, which Nick and I have been watching on Apple Plus. Crystal talked about it a while back, but it is so good.
It is. It's really sharp.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
That's a great word for it.
Funny.
It is. It's quirky. It's creepy, but not. It's not too unsettling. It's thought provoking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The actors are great.
Oh my gosh, John
So
Turturro,
yeah.
Christopher Walken. Did not know he was going to show up. First of all,
right?
Yeah, but
I think that's what's fun. At least to me, that's kind of funny about Apple Plus is I've discovered so many things there that I wasn't hearing about elsewhere.
I know, same.
And these great actors are in it, and they need to advertise better.
They do, because I've been telling so many people, look, we're doing this free trial, but I'm gonna keep it after this because there's a bunch of good stuff on there.
Yeah,
I think everything I'm watching, except The Power, is on. That's on Amazon, but everything else I'm watching is on Apple Plus.
Yeah. And there's I have a backlog of stuff on there that I plan to watch, but that I haven't gotten to yet.
Yeah. Well, and I was telling you, I knew the concept of Severance. It's that the people can have this company. There's this company, and the people who work there. I guess you have to decide to work there based on the fact that you get this. This surgery done in your brain.
This procedure.
Where basically your work life and your home life are completely separate. You have no memory of home while you're at work and no memory of work while you're at home or in your personal life. And, but yeah, the idea that that means the version of you that's at work, that's all they know. And
that would make you crazy.
Yes.
Regardless of how much you care about your job.
Absolutely.
And some of them, aren't too bothered by it.
I know.
They love it.
And I was immediately I'd be the girl. I'd be immediately why are we okay with this? Asking questions.
Yeah. And then things get topsy-turvy.
Yes. Oh.
It kind of reminds me of a Charlie Kaufman movie, Being John Malkovich or something like that.
Oh, totally.
The vibe is much like that. And it's in that, it's because it's quirky, funny, it's sometimes silly, but it's so smart, and they think of all of the ways that this could be drawn out or become a problem. And then there's still stuff. I mean, I finished the season, and there are things that are introduced that
I figured
you don't know about what's going on.
I'm really loving it.
Yeah.
I was kind of surprised. I don't know. I thought it'd be good. I'm watching several good things right now, but I've thought about that one nonstop. Anyway, highly recommend.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to start with a couple of movies.
Okay.
And both of them have gotten a lot of, at least people talking about them. The first one is Elvis, which is now on Hulu.
Yes. I've almost clicked it a few times.
Yeah. I knew the story, my mother is the biggest Elvis fan, probably. And, like, just growing up, we grew up watching all the Elvis movies and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So, knew the story, you know, knew the biography. The guy, Austin Butler, who plays him, does a good, you know, good job. Some of the other characters do a better job, oddly enough. Tom Hanks plays Colonel Parker.
Okay, I knew
he
was
really the story hinges on him because he's the mysterious figure who made himself up.
What do you mean? I don't know this.
That's not his real name.
What?
Yeah.
Who is
he? He was a con man. He was Elvis's manager.
What? So weird.
Yeah. And it just really that factors into so many of the decisions that were made. And so
oh my gosh,
if you don't know about that, like, they were really, really at odds for a long time.
Elvis and this guy?
Yeah, at first Elvis was really loyal to him. Like, he's made me, you know, who I am. Because as soon as this Colonel Parker, whatever, saw him, he's like, this guy.
And, like, how old was Elvis at the beginning of his career?
19 or something.
Gosh,
he was very young. And so kind of, you know,
naive and
reached like heights of fame, and then stuff happened. He ended up going to in the army. Yeah,
which I just watched.
The biggest part of his fame.
I recently watched Bye Bye Birdie, the musical. I was in it when I was in like 8th grade at the Lamplight Theater. I was just like a chorus person, but because it's based on Elvis, leaving and joining the army, but it's such a ridiculous, fun, silly musical.
That is a good musical.
Yeah, the scene where he like sings to everybody in like the town square, and by the end, all of the women are just like passed out on the ground.
I mean, he really did have
that effect. Yes, I mean, you see videos from, you know, girls in the audience. I mean, my gosh, they're
the movie. So Baz Luhrmann is the one who directed it, and so while it's based on factual stuff, there's a lot of over the top
kind
stuff.
of
So
almost like fantastical elements in his stuff.
I mean, it's more toned down than, say, you know, Romeo and Juliet or whatever, but it's still got those elements that, you know, are more
which is so funny. Like, when I was younger, I don't know, I feel like when I was like in my 20, you know, late teens, early 20s, I thought like Baz Luhrmann was so cool and his style was so cool, and I don't know, I don't have as much patience for it as I've gotten older. I'm definitely more critical of it, but I'm still like, I'm interested in this movie.
It seemed like he maybe had gotten that note.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely.
The series he made several years ago, what was that one? The Get Down on Netflix. Did you ever watch it?
I didn't.
Oh, it was great. At least the first season was. I didn't watch the second season. It was great. Yeah, you should watch it.
I'm going to make a note.
It's kind of, gosh, it's been so long. I want to say it's kind of the beginning of rap and DJing in the Bronx in the 70s. Yeah, anyway, it's very cool.
That does sound cool.
Yeah.
Well, then I watched Triangle of Sadness on HBO.
I refuse.
Yeah, and there's a reason why Emily doesn't want to watch it, and may turn off a lot of people. And even to me, it's like halfway through the movie, and there's a shipwreck, and everybody gets really sick, and they really focus on that. It's
it's on the trailer. It's all over the trailer. I was so mad. I was just like, no. And then I told you after the trailer was over, Nick was like, so you want to watch it? Yeah. I was like, I would rather die.
Yes. The most extreme version of that that's ever been committed to film.
Does everyone get sick? Like, is it seasickness, or is it like a big part of the plot?
It's a combination of things, but yeah.
Goodness gracious.
It's terrible. Now, the movie itself, it's based on, or it's the story, that's the word I'm looking for, these two models, this couple, are on a yacht, like a huge yacht with these billionaires. One of the models kind of got like a free trip. You know how like these things are handled, whatever. And
I totally know. I'm just kidding. I get what you're saying.
In our experience. But so I'm not spoiling anything by telling you this, because like you said, it's in the trailer. But they go out on this yacht. They're both very unlikable.
The models.
Everybody's very unlikable. And they get stranded after this shipwreck on this island, and nobody knows how to do anything.
Yeah.
But it's like it should be a comedy. Yeah. But they're not really doing it that way. And it's funny, but it's annoying. It's just
well, I mean, I don't know. If I'm watching a comedy, I would like someone to be likable. You know what I mean? Like
or to be like,
or I want to be fully laughing at the terrible things happening to the character I don't like or whatever. Right. I'm not a violent person. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah. But it got a lot of people talking about it, and I don't know about accolades, but it was like on a bunch of people's list of things to watch, and
nah,
I can't recommend it.
No. I mean, granted, I don't do vomit, but like anytime that's in a movie, I'm like, this could have also not been in it. You know, this could have not been included.
There is an inordinate amount of vomit
there
in
is.
Movies and TV
and
shows.
I, knock on wood, I've gotten so good at like catching when it's about to literally
being able to tell when they're gonna.
Yeah, like there'll be like one face or like somebody reaches their hand up, and I'll just be like, huh, and Nick will be like, wow, like how did you know?
It's your superpower.
Yeah, like even when I watched Knives Out, the girl, her thing is she throws up whenever she tells a lie, and I was just like I spent the first time I watched that movie, I spent the first time just like hands ready to cover my face.
Yeah, no, this movie, you should never watch it.
Okay,
put it there.
I really wasn't. No, I'm really not going to.
Don't.
Okay, what else?
Because hands won't.
No.
So, that was the movies. Not a great selection of films this time around, but there are some series out.
Yeah,
and the first one is also getting a ton of accolades. Everybody's talking about how it's going to sweep all of the awards eventually.
Okay,
and that is a Netflix show called Beef with Ali Wong, she's a producer on it.
Yeah, and I love Ali Wong. I don't know, for some reason the plot is, I don't know, kind of silly to me. I don't know. I feel like I need to watch it to fully empathize with the situation.
Well, I didn't know what it was going to be about based on the trailer. The trailer focuses on this one scene where they're having a dinner. And so with the title, between the title and then that scene, you think it's going to be about food. It is not about food.
Beef.
Yeah.
But it's
it's
beef.
About having beef.
You got beef.
Yeah. And it is it's over the top. But it really gets deeper into the characters, and there's shocking stuff. I mean, it starts off, it's pretty shocking actually, but
because I've just seen on the trailer, because this all starts over road rage incident, right? These two people have beef. There, I said it. Due to a road rage incident, and what they show of the incident in the trailer, I was just she's being obnoxious. This is so rude, and I can't get on her side. But then again, I don't know what led up to it.
Yeah, it does. It goes back and forth, or it goes and shows deeper into each side, and then there's some crossover, and things happen, and it just. But yeah, at the first episode, you don't really realize how it's gonna play out.
Yeah,
because you do think well, it's pretty limited. In your most road rage incidents that you experience, that's pretty much it.
Yeah,
it happens, it's over, hopefully, and nobody.
Yeah,
is
we go our
permanently
separate
impacted.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate and unpleasant, but
I will brood about it for the next few days, but
at least, yeah. But no, that's not what happens here for sure.
Interesting.
And so
how far
I'm interested
are you?
to see. I've watched several episodes.
Okay.
But it's keeping me coming back to watch more. So
I'll write
curious.
it down.
And let's see. Oh, I started also just a couple of episodes in Unstable, also on Netflix. And Rob Lowe is the main character with his son, who plays his son.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I've not seen it. But...
Basically, he plays like a tech mogul. Mm-hmm. And he's like a goofball, like, you know...
wait, the son?
No,
Rob
Lowe
got
plays
it.
the mogul, and he like created this company, and like he's a disruptor, and you know, but like the extreme cheesy version of it, where he's new agey and all of this stuff,
doing like backflips when he enters the room, like woo,
kind of, yeah. It's not that vibe, for sure.
Yeah.
And his son, he tried to make his son in his image, who of course revolted and became a.
I just want to dance, Dad.
Yeah, no, he's a flautist.
Oh, well, I was kind of close.
And so he's like, you know, living.
That's cute though.
In a, you know, completely different lifestyle, teaching flute lessons to children.
Aw.
And then the father, they lose the mother. She passes away, and the Rob Lowe character just kind of spins out, and so this huge company is kind of really worried about
run, and okay.
So they try to bring the son in to rein him in and help out.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
And it's very funny. It's like it's a straight up comedy. It's not, there's nothing serious about it. So, you know, it remains to be, you know how it is with a comedy. It kind of takes a little while for them to figure out the tone.
Find their footing. Yeah, totally.
But
no, I'm intrigued. Katie, here, who works here at the library, was telling me about it yesterday and said it's really funny. So
yeah,
2 recommendations in 2 days. I'll take it.
Yeah, try it out. And then I started Tiny Beautiful Things. It's on Hulu.
Yes.
It's based on a book by Cheryl Strayed, who wrote Wild. Which was the movie with Reese Witherspoon. And it stars Katherine Hahn, and it's about a person who writes advice column.
Okay.
And I just started it, so I won't say much else about it because I'm not real sure how it's going to go.
Where they're going.
Yeah.
Okay.
Try it out.
Okay. I was kind of waiting. I was like, do you think it's worth
think?
exploring even? Okay.
Yeah. Again, it's one of those that we'll see how the tone's going to land.
Yeah, I was curious.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It's like, what else came out on Hulu? Little Fires Everywhere or whatever. Is that what it's called? Little Fires or just Fires Everywhere?
I think it's Little Fires Everywhere.
And then there's...
By Celeste Ng is the book.
Yeah, and what was there was another show that came... There was an HBO show. Oh my gosh. Not Pretty Little Liars. Why is that all I can... What am I thinking of? Nicole Kidman.
Yes, it's all these titles that seem interchangeable.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. And it's like all of, women are like the helm, like women around the same age are at the helm of all of these ships.
Yes.
And so I've gotten all of these so confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't even try. I feel like most of them it doesn't really matter so much.
What is it? Big Little Lies?
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies, which was super good.
Great.
Book and movie. I mean, book and show, both great.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah.
Are they going to do another season of that?
I don't know. I kind of felt like they wrapped things up in the second season.
Yeah.
Which was very satisfying.
Yes, that's true.
It makes me want to rewatch it. Mm-hmm. I have a terrible memory, which is great in moments like this.
Can be completely entertained all over again.
Yeah, truly.
It depends for me. Sometimes I'll, kind of be distracted as I'm watching.
Yeah, so then when you... Mm-hmm.
Then it is fresh, but...
No, I can
for the
remember...
most part, I don't like to rewatch.
I can remember, like... everything from my childhood and nothing from last week. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think that's just a feature of being an adult.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Sometimes I have to check with you.
Yeah. Am I normal?
Did you go through this at my age?
Yeah. But I don't remember things from when I was a kid either.
Yeah.
I just don't have any.
Just don't retain anything. Just floating through life.
Yeah, like a goldfish.
You just have like a silly smile on your face all the time.
So
like
not me at all.
I know. And I just realized that you said that you're like a goldfish, which is also not like you at all.
I wish. Some days I wish I could just shake it off.
Yeah.
Swim around.
A little severance action.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you could just have a sprinkle of that every once in a while.
When I choose. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, not when somebody else chooses.
No.
No. So the last thing I want to talk about is I don't even know what to think about this, and I didn't hear anything about it. It just popped up as like, hey, do you want to watch this?
Oh my gosh.
And it's on Freevee, which is part of like Hulu or part of some other
I don't know, but
thing.
it like just I feel like it's
maybe
just
Amazon
already there on like any Roku device I've had.
Yes.
Like I didn't download that. It's just there. Yeah.
And used to it would be like where you would see syndicated stuff or like old stuff.
Yeah.
But this apparently is a new thing.
I
it's
feel
called
like
Jury Duty.
Okay.
And
writing it down.
James Marsden plays himself.
Love.
And he gets called for jury duty along with this other cast of characters.
Can you imagine?
And so when I just watched the first episode, I did not know what was going on. Mm-hmm. And it's bonkers.
Oh my gosh.
And then I didn't pick up on it. I picked up that there's this one main guy that's not James Marsden, who they're kind of following, Okay. And after a few minutes, I was like, what is the deal? Because I just maybe I wasn't focused on it enough when it started. But he is a real guy who doesn't know that everybody else is an actor.
Wait.
And
real
they're pretending
life.
to be in jury duty.
Whoa. Okay, so the show is not about this concept. That really is the concept?
The guy is just a real
Thinks
regular
he's
guy.
On a jury?
Yes.
How did they choose this guy?
I don't know. But they did some kind of...
He just got called in for jury duty?
They tell him that it's a real jury duty, but that they're doing a documentary of the process. So that explains all the cameras and everything.
Oh my God.
And then all of the actors, there's only there is one or two that I've seen as extras in, or real bit part actors.
Small parts, yeah.
But nobody's recognizable.
Except James Marsden.
Except James Marsden. He's playing himself. He's and that was the part that really kind of twisted my noodle, is that he's talking to this guy, and I thought, okay, this is all a joke, because he does a perfect bit where, James Marsden is like, I was an X-Men or whatever. And the guy, and then he says that he's in some other movie, which I can't remember. Oh, The Notebook,
Oh, yeah.
And the guy's like, oh, really? And then the next day he comes back, he's like, I watched that movie that you were in, man.
Stop.
And it's just hilarious.
Oh my gosh. Which movie did he watch? The Notebook?
I think he watched The Notebook. I can't remember for sure. Because they're talking about several... He keeps mentioning the things that he's been in, because nobody's cares.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And
that's so funny.
Yeah. He's he keeps telling the guy, I'm going to get out of this jury duty because
I'm famous.
an actor.
Yeah,
I'm famous. So he stands up and tells the judge, and the judge is like, what have you been in? And he tells him, and he's like, sit down. You don't get an excuse.
Ever seen Enchanted?
Exactly. And the guy's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. And so it is actually pretty amazing.
Hilarious.
And I don't know, you don't know how it's going to go or whatever, but
Does anyone?
Yeah. But I just kept thinking about producing that.
Yeah.
Because, that he just has these hilarious reactions to things, and he is kind of funny.
He's just a natural born actor.
Yeah.
Or
and they
entertainer.
just throw weird things, and the people all do weird stuff, but it's not so crazy
unbelievable
that he would go, wait a minute, this
where
can't be real.
where's Ashton Kutcher?
Right.
Because I'm being
just,
punked.
Yeah, Yeah.
In case anyone didn't get that.
Yeah. He just kind of rolls with it. And,
that is
sometimes
so
he's
hilarious.
like, this is strange,
Yeah. Is he, like, speaking to anyone at any point when he's like, what's going on? Or is it just kind of all over his face? I need to watch this.
Yeah, you should
I feel like
watch
Nick
it.
would get such a kick out of this, too.
Yeah. There's, like, one point where they go, like, there's some things that wouldn't really happen with a jury. Like, they all go out to dinner.
Oh, God.
And they don't have their phones because they're not supposed to, do anything, but they're at a restaurant.
Yeah.
And the bailiff or whatever comes in after they've been drinking and eating. And so the check, it's like 12 people. Whatever.
Yeah.
The check is huge. And the bailiff is like, you weren't supposed to be buying all these drinks and all of this stuff. We're not paying for that.
No.
And so they're like, we thought this was all paid for by
I'd be
the
like,
court.
James Marsden, you got this?
Yeah. Well, that's what they tell the guy, the real guy, go ask James Marsden to pay for this.
Do they all refer to him as James Marsden?
Yeah.
Okay, yes, of course. You don't just start calling him James. Like,
right.
That is so hilarious.
And it was funny is that it took, I was into the first episode before I realized it wasn't all just a mockumentary.
Yeah.
It was funny.
What a concept. And the cherry on top is the fact that it's hiding away on Freevee.
Yeah. It makes you wonder, how these decisions are made. But who knows? Anyway, maybe they're really trying to start a whole
maybe
thing.
Freevee's going to be there's going to be a revolution. And
And I think there's only been 3 episodes, but I watched it. I watched them all.
So intrigued.
Yeah.
I'm cracking up. I'm going to watch it.
You would enjoy it. I think it's pretty funny. And I do not like reality TV stuff.
Yeah.
I don't like when people are awkward. Mm-hmm. But I think that's what I thought was funny about this is that it was like kind of like a Christopher Guest movie.
Yeah.
In that everybody's in on it.
Yeah.
Everybody's, except in this case, not this one guy.
And it seems like this guy...
He's got good humor.
Exactly. They're not hurting someone's feelings or like embarrassing someone and
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because there was something, maybe it was like Joe Millionaire or several years ago, there was some show that was like that where like the one guy was not in on the joke and it was
I don't
humiliated
like things like that at all.
Yeah. But this is not vicious or anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
At
least so far.
In. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm gonna check it out.
All right. Well, I think that finishes us up for this time.
Yay.
And it's the weekend.
Yeah, girl. Well,
Yeah.
I'll be working the front desk tomorrow.
Ooh.
But then it's my weekend.
Yes. Well, this is the only weekend this month that I'm having 2 days off in a row.
Go
So
sleep and play and do all the wonderful
all the
self-care
things that you could
things.
do.
Yeah, fit it all in.
I will do it all. And then I'll be exhausted by Monday.
Yep. I'm crying. Just kidding.
All right. Well, we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.